Welcome back, everyone, to Get Real Radio. I'm your host, James Robinson, and we have the very popular Derek O'Neill with us today, and we're talking about a very serious subject, suicide. And Derek, in the first two segments, has given us some really, really great tips about how to spot somebody that may be contemplating suicide and what to do about that. I want to shift gears a little bit right now because I not only is Derek a great friend of mine, he's also been a mentor and a teacher for me, and I know most of what I know about life from him, or at least how to deal with life. And so I want to give everybody an opportunity to understand what it is that Derek does for people. And there are two ways that basically people I know that can, or actually there are three ways that you can take advantage of Derek. And one is through his books. And we mentioned those before: Calm Mama, Happy Baby, More Truth Will Set You Free, and the Get a Grip series, which is a series of short but very, very profound books about everything that you might be interested in. And so you can go on to Amazon. You can buy it from Kindle. They're readily available on his website, DerekO'Neill.com. But I'm very excited about a tour coming up that Derek is going to be doing in the first part of November. He'll be in Phoenix on November 1st. He'll be in Los Angeles on November 2nd, New York City November 8th, and Boston November 9th. And the title of these workshops is called Walking with Empowerment. And so, Derek, could you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing in these workshops?
Yes, thanks again, James. Well, these workshops are what we call very open, and we go with the flow, but generally the topic is about, it's time that people began to understand that, you're in control of your own life. Every step you take is going to create the next step. And so walking with empowerment means really genuinely looking at very simple aspects of life that you're unhappy with, and begin to chunk off or to change aspects of your life so that you can live the life that you always wanted to live. So to walk with empowerment is to come to that final understanding that, it's not possible for me to change a single thought in any other being's head, and yet I can change my whole world by putting a single thought into my own head. And so I want to be able to control what thoughts go into my head. I want to be able to control what company I keep. I want to be able to control what media I listen to or look at or whatever. And I want to be able to know, what type of books I want to read. Now, I use the word control quite flippantly because what you'll find is there are certain things in life you cannot control, and there are things you can control. And the time to walk in empowerment is look at the things you can control and make the changes there. In other words, when the plane has taken off and you go to the ticket desk and they go, the plane has taken off, it's not really worth your while screaming, shouting and roaring at that stage because the plane's already gone, okay? So actually what you'd be far more productive doing at that stage is saying, okay, where do we go from here? How can help this situation to get me to where I want to go? What next steps do I need to take? And the response that you will get from the person behind the counter is going to be much more positive. It's going to be much more empowered, and you're going to get a much better result. So in these workshops, what I do is I will do live demonstrations with volunteers, how to change the way something happens in your life. Like, say, for instance, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're attracting bad relationships into your life, well then I'll show you why you're attracting them into your life. I will show you how important, we call it satsang or company or whatever it is, and so I'll show you how your thoughts are creating all those things. And one of the things quite uniquely that I'm going to do at these set of workshops that I've never did before is what we call or mantra repetition. Now, for all the listeners out there who think, oh, he's talking about yoga, he's talking about Hinduism or whatever, let me remind you that in every religion there is prayers. And these prayers, another word for those prayers are mantras. And, in my own Catholic religion that I was brought up in, I remember many a Saturday being dragged off to church while people decades of the rosary, invoking Our Lady, Jesus, or whatever. Well, when I say mala, I'm talking about the same thing. It's a set of beads. And what happens is this. When you want to control your thoughts, if you just run one of these beads at a time over your finger, and it becomes what we call a physical anchor, you can say stuff to yourself like, I am feeling better every day in every single way. I am better every day in every single way. I am feeling better every single day in every single way. I am feeling better every single day in every single way. And if you just keep repeating that simple mantra, your mind will begin to deliver what it is you're telling it, and you will begin to feel better every day in every single way. And so there is a way of doing this. There is what's called a functionality to it, and that's what I want to teach at the as well as a very, very powerful tool. Instead of sitting at an airport worrying about emails and whatever, wouldn't it be better just to have one of these beads rolling over your finger going, I am sitting here calm and relaxed?
Well, I for one can say that probably would pass the time a lot better than how I usually do it. But and I would I'm very excited about going to these workshops and highly recommend them to everybody, because I've been to many of Derek's workshops and they are always very profound and transformational.